We're closing in here on the start of the 2022 football season. Hello, Sean Callahan with Husker Online and ABM as we take an in-depth look at the Nebraska football team. Today, we're talking to more members of Nebraska's very deep and talented wide receiver room. Joining us here today, we've got a couple of true freshmen. We've got Decoldest Crawford and Janiran. We've got newcomer Isaiah Garcia-Castaneda via New Mexico State. And then we've got Brody, a longtime veteran that will be entering his 5th year in the program. Guys, welcome. It's got to be exciting as we get going here. And I'm going to go to you first, Brody. You've been at Nebraska. This should be your 5th year. Got a bunch of guys next to you that are going to be rookies in the program. What advice do you give these guys as a journeyman, a guy that's been here 5 years, and kind of what they're about to walk into playing for Nebraska?
I would say mostly to stick with the program. I mean, a lot of things aren't going to go your way. There's going to be certain things that you're going to have to overcome, and adversity is a good thing. And I think sticking with it and, getting with the coaches, learning the playbook, getting an early jump on that is definitely something that needs to happen.
And Brody, you've been here a long time, and you understand kind of what's worked and kind of some of the things that went wrong. What big changes have you noticed this offseason as you guys try to, correct things?
I say definitely we're putting in a lot more work. We've definitely been putting work in on things that we know that we need to change, like late game things, situational stuff. And I think with these new guys come in, we got a lot of depth, and we can have a lot of guys out there, and we can roll.
Isaiah, you've played a lot of Division I football. You've played junior college football. You're new here at Nebraska. You missed the spring. What kept you out this spring?
I actually had a partial tear in my hamstring. So, I was working out with the team when I first transferred here in January for about a month. And then one day it just wasn't feeling right. And I went to run routes and I went to open up and I felt it pop. And so I got an MRI 2 days later and found out I had partially torn it. So I had actually previously, I think I previously tore it though at New Mexico State, and I don't think it was fully healed when I got here, but it's healed now. So I'm back with the team, back with the guys, working out like normal again. So.
And for you going into a Division I program, what's the biggest difference from what you were used to before at New Mexico State?
Probably just the workload. Like Brody mentioned, we're putting in a lot of work, and definitely that's a big difference I've noticed coming from New Mexico State to here. Got a lot of everybody's good at this level. Got a lot of guys who can play on Saturdays. So I think just the amount of work that we've been putting in and, the skill set that we have, on all phases of the team is the biggest difference that I've noticed.
And Janiran, you were one of the late members that joined the recruiting class. You just got to Lincoln within the last month. How has life been for you, adjusting to life at Nebraska, moving to Lincoln, and kind of getting your feet underneath you?
It's nothing like Atlanta. It's a lot different, but ever since I got here, everything been smooth. I'm adjusting. I'm just liking it. So everything's been great my way.
And Decoldest, you were once committed to Mickey Joseph at LSU. You followed him to Nebraska. Just now to be here, to be with your teammates, and be back with Coach Joseph, kind of give us an idea of where things are at with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brotherhood, in the receiver group. A lot of the older receivers, when I run like a different route or the wrong route, they just teach me like to run the right route at a certain time. And I think it's a great thing to look up to them and just learn from under them.
I asked the other group of receivers, and I think your room more than any room, like there's just so much diversity, guys from all over the country, all different parts. You got Nebraska, Omaha, you've got Atlanta, you've got California, you've got Louisiana. Brody, you've been at Nebraska a long time. I mean, how does that make Nebraska unique from just other places around the country when you have just so many different guys in this locker room from all over the country?
I mean, it's kind of a testament to our program. A lot of people from all over the country really want to come and play here. And I think when you have guys from all over, it's kind of easy to kind of mesh together, especially when you have a guy like Mickey at the helm. He's a really good coach, and he knows how to mesh a group together. And I think over the summer, I think the guys will get real close, and I think we'll have a real good bond.
Isaiah, have you learned anything about Nebraska that you didn't know before, now that you've been here for, 6 months?
Yeah, probably just the fact that it gets really cold in the winter. That's probably the biggest thing that I've had to adjust to. But other than that, nothing crazy. I like it a lot here. I feel like I've adjusted well and stuff like that. But there's really nothing else that's like stood out to me that I didn't know about.
And correct me if I'm wrong, where you lived in California, that's like one of the hottest places on earth.
Yeah, no, in the summer where I live, it gets up to like 120, 121. So it's dry heat though. Like I've heard out here.
It's dry heat.
I would rather be in dry heat than humidity, and I've heard out here it gets pretty humid in the summer. So that's going to be kind of a difference. But yeah, it does get hot where I'm from.
Did you work outside in that stuff? Like,
Oh yeah, we would be full on summer practices in 115 degree.
there you go.
Yeah.
Janiran, for you, just getting to Nebraska and kind of working out with the guys, I mean, what's jumped out to you so far?
I learn for the older guys, you know, just getting on them, learning, just learning play, learn the playbook, learn how to run the routes. Just that's what it's thing. Just learning from the guys.
Decoldest, for you, just some of the older guys in the program, like a Trey Palmer and some of the veteran guys that have been here for a while, like Brody. I mean, what have you learned from them, just kind of watching their approach and kind of how they go about working?
I learned like a difference of like route running. Like in high school, I used to run routes different, but when I got here, a lot of the routes that I used to run is different. Like it's different depths, it's different cuts. And when I run the wrong route, they'll just stop me and just correct me and make me like redo the route and make sure I get it right every time.
Details. I mean, so like, are you talking like 8 yards versus 9 yards? I mean, just the small. And Brody, you understand that more than anybody. You played a lot of football here at Nebraska. I mean, how important are those details for a receiver when you're talking about depth and, you know, choice routes and other things that you might have?
I mean, detail is everything because, you know, a detail can go from your 1 yard inside the hash when it should be 2. It results in an overthrow when it could be 6. You know what I mean? So a lot of those details, we've been hammering them, and I think we've really took a big step in our detail game, and I think we really got to get that right.
Brody, your role too is very unique on this team. Kind of go into how you think you're going to be utilized. I mean, we saw you start games at running back last year. We've seen you play in the slot. You're just kind of a Swiss Army knife that's been able to do a lot.
I would say definitely a lot in the slot this year. A lot of third down, passing game, running back type stuff, and some special teams. You know, whatever I got to do to help us win, I'm here.
And Isaiah, for you, you bring great speed. I mean, give us an idea. How fast are you?
I've never actually done like a 40-yard dash, laser time, but my 10-yard sprint flying, like head start into a 10-yard split was a 1.13, which I think that translated to about a 4.5. So I don't really know how true, because I've never done like a laser time one, but yeah, it has definitely been like one of my biggest aspects that I've been able to bring to the table is having speed, more over the top speed too, I feel like.
Are you and Trey Palmer going to line up and run against each other one of these days? Trey will tell you he's the fastest guy, not only in this football team, but the whole state right now.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe we will someday. I don't know.
How do you see your role, though? I mean, are you a slot? Are you a Z? Are you an X? I mean, what do you really see as far as a role for you right now?
To be honest, I feel comfortable playing outside or inside because that's kind of how I've been since junior college. I played some slot, played some outside. Same thing in New Mexico State. I played majority outside, but they used me a lot in the slot, just depending on game planning and stuff like that. So, like Brody said, like I just want to be able to contribute any way that I can. So I feel comfortable wherever they place me. I just want to learn every receiver position. That way, you know, there's no hesitation when it comes to, you know, if they need me in the slot, they need me in the outside, I can do it. So.
And Janiran, you come here with a lot of physical ability, a lot of talent. How do you get yourself prepared and ready to be in the conversation for playing time this year?
Just working, just keep going to practice, working hard, getting everything I need, you know, just to take care of my body, you know, just doing everything I need.
How about you, Decoldest? I mean, you're going to come in, obviously, and have a chance to compete for playing time as well. What do you think you need to do to get yourself in the conversation as a true freshman?
I just basically got to work on my route running and learn the playbook. I mean, firstly, it'll be the playbook because you don't know the plays, you're not going to touch the field at all. Mm-hmm. So I want to just focus on the playbook right now, and I'll just let the rest of it take care of itself.
Well, Brody, let's talk about that playbook. How much has changed from a year ago? If I'm correct, they kept the verbiage the same, so you guys didn't have to learn new words, but obviously a lot's different with Mark Whipple.
Yeah, I think Whipple brings a lot to the table. You know, he worked with Andy Reid. He's been in the NFL a long time, so he's got a lot of NFL terms, but, you know, he brings a lot. The passing game is a lot different. I think we'll be a lot more successful this year with this passing game. But run game is kind of still the same, you know, kind of more like downhill running rather than a zone read offense. But, you know, I think Whipple, he's really going to get us right, and, you know, I'm excited for the passing game.
You get the sense they want to feature the running backs more than having the quarterback have to carry such a big load in the run game?
I think we really need to get our running backs going downhill rather than, you know, risking a quarterback getting hurt because, you know, those are the money makers. We need them throw touchdowns.
Isaiah, what do you like about the playbook just with the 6 months that you've had to really study things?
I feel like just the versatility of it. you can, there's so many different concepts that we've gone over just in the time that I've been here. And, you can run so many different routes just based off of, the coverages that you're seeing and stuff like that. And, hopefully, like I said, I feel comfortable, playing inside or outside. And I think that's another positive about the playbook is you can do so much out of the playbook, whether you're in the slot or the outside. So I think I like that a lot.
Janiran, when you talk about strengths, what do you think your strengths are that could fit into this offense?
Just being a big body that, that could run, go catch, make moves, make people miss goals. So, just being a big receiver, just physical, like I can bring a lot to the table. I just got to work.
What about you, Decoldest? What do you bring to the table that's going to kind of get you up there in that conversation?
I think my like high point the ball skills, like 50-50 catches, like I got there 100%, and I think it'll separate me from a lot of people.
Brody, I mean, you've seen a lot of groups of receivers at Nebraska going back to Stanley Morgan, right? Mm-hmm. And J.D. Spielman when he was in his prime, and Wan'Dale Robinson. When you look at just the competition and the makeup of the room, how does it compare and stack up with overall competition and depth to what you've seen before?
Yeah, I think it's definitely the most deep and talented receiving core we've had in a while because, a couple years ago we had only 3 or 4 guys that could step on the field and, be able to contribute. But I think now we could have 8, 9, maybe even 10 guys that'll be able to play and contribute and know what they're doing, and I'm excited.
Do you feel that competition, Isaiah?
Most definitely. I think we have a bunch of dudes in the room that can play on Saturdays. So, and I like that because that just makes every single one of us better each week, each day. So, we've been getting after every day so far in these summer workouts. So I think the competition is just only going to make us better as a whole. So.
What do you think? Us two freshmen. What do you think of the quarterbacks? I mean, when you work with these quarterbacks, Janiran, what do you think of the quarterbacks and the way they're throwing the football?
Them boys could zip it. I haven't really got any passes from Casey since I've been here, but all the other guys they got arm.
What do you like about the quarterbacks so far?
Yeah, basically when I'm running my route, I really don't know who be throwing to me until I just turn around. But
get it to me.
All of them, they zipping it right now.
And I mean, you've seen a lot of quarterbacks now in the last 5 years. What's different about the group now than what you're used to in the last 4 years?
Yeah, I think definitely now there's a lot more competition, and I think we got 3, maybe even 4 guys that could be QB1 come fall, and I think all of them are up for the challenge, and that competition is really a good thing because like Isaiah said, not only in our room but in the quarterback room, it's really going to bring everybody up, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, on the outside, I think people just assume it's Casey's job, but I think within the locker room, is it safe to say everybody knows? I mean, guys like Chubba and even Logan and others have a shot. What have you seen just from the quarterbacks, Isaiah?
I mean, everybody I think has their own skill sets, but everybody's very capable of starting on Saturday. So I think it's like like you said, within the locker room, we know that there's competition everywhere across the whole offense. So I think it's going to be interesting once fall camp comes, once the season comes, because I don't think at any position there's like, a set in stone person or player that, is known to start right now. So I think it's going to be interesting once we get going.
What do you guys think just of that quarterback competition, just from kind of watching it from the outside in, Decoldest?
This is my first week actually here, so I only can just go off from now, but all of the quarterbacks, they can compete, and they practice, all of them throw dimes, so I really want to know right now.
How about you? When you kind of size up the different quarterbacks, and what have you seen, Janiran?
Like you said, I'm new too, so I really don't really know them, but as I've been practicing, the quarterbacks that have been throwing to me, they've been doing really good, so I think we got a lot of good quarterbacks in the quarterback room.
Well, let's talk about the season now. I mean, when you look at this team, you're coming off a very tough 3-9 record a year ago, but all the losses were by 1 score or less. Brody, I mean, what's the feel like after last year, and what did you guys learn from last year, and how hungry are guys right now?
The guys are real hungry. I mean, we got a kind of a newfound confidence, with all these guys coming in. I think we can really make some noise this year, and I think we definitely have a favorable schedule this year. A lot of opportunity to get some wins, but like I said, I think we need to get on the field and have a good start rather than coming off late. Trying to not making it close and just blowing people out.
Isaiah, you're one of 15 transfers that have come in together. I mean, how do you guys kind of weigh things? I mean, you weren't a part of last year, so do you not even care about what happened here before? I mean, is it kind of a clean slate with all of you guys?
Yeah, I would say so. I think since I've got here, I could feel the vibe and the energy through the locker room that guys are not satisfied and they're really looking forward to, making noise this year. And, I think everybody kind of has a mentality of like last year was last year. We've had so many new additions and so many, I feel like, changes within the program just since I've been here that we're just focused on this season and focused on Northwestern. So I think it's going to be really exciting this year and we're going to make some plays for sure.
Janiran, just studying this team, what do you think was the missing piece maybe a year ago, and do you think you guys can put that together this year?
I really feel like just playmakers. So like when the time comes, like them couple games that they did lose by like a play, last second, just somebody can make a play when the time comes. So they just need a lot of playmakers.
Can you be one of those playmakers, Decoldest?
I can.
Just give you a shot?
Yeah, I just need one shot.
Well, you guys will open up the season in Ireland, go on the road into Dublin, week 0, national television. What kind of opportunity is this, Brody, for the program?
It's a huge opportunity. I think it's, not only, American, but, overseas. I think we can make a lot of noise. And, week 0, there's only 1 or 2 games on, so all eyes are going to be on us. And Big Ten opponent, I think it's huge if we come out and get a dub that first week.
Are you excited, Isaiah, for the trip overseas?
Yeah, most definitely. I've never been overseas, like to Ireland or anything like that. So it's going to be interesting, but I'm definitely excited.
Yeah, Janiran, have you ever been on an 8-hour plane ride before?
No, sir. No, sir.
So, I mean, just what are your thoughts just going right into it on the national stage right away? I mean, how exciting is that?
I'm really excited. I really can't even wait. Not to just play, but just being I ain't never been outside the country either. So I'm really excited. I can't wait.
What are you looking forward to about that trip, Decoldest?
The main part, like being outside the country, like just seeing the fans in the stadium, just seeing how packed the stadium is.
And Brody can attest to this. There'll be a lot of red in Ireland. I mean, and I think that's one thing you guys probably haven't been able to experience yet, other than the spring game. But I mean, tell these guys, what are the Nebraska fans like, Brody?
They travel so well. I mean, everywhere we go, there's always a little sea of red that you can spot from anywhere, and red's always coming out. And the fans are crazy here, and they love to travel for these games. So I think there'll be a nice sea of red out in Dublin.
Well, guys, this has been a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys taking the chance to sit down here as we took an in-depth look here at the wide receivers.
Appreciate it.
Definitely, for sure.
All right, that wraps it up here with our wide receivers. Much more to come for Husker Online and ABM. I'm Sean Callahan.